Okay, so this is another update on how things are going in my journey to love myself. I feel like I've been doing pretty well recently. I haven't had a lot of bad days or any outstanding bad moments or anything like that. I found that I haven't been as focused on what I look like and checking myself in the mirror, which I talked about in a previous video, that I feel like I was constantly adjusting my clothes, and I've been actively watching myself and paying attention to the things that I do like that. And I've noticed that I haven't been doing it as much lately. And sometimes I'll think about doing it and I'll be like, no, Miranda, why? Nobody cares. And so, I think that it's working some, and I felt really good about it. And so I wanted to talk today about two things that have really been helpful to me so far on this journey. Number one is a documentary on Netflix that I watched recently. I actually watched it like 4 times in the past 3 weeks because it was just so good and it resonated with me so intensely. And the name of it is Embrace. And it's basically the lady who produced it. Her name is Taryn Brumfitt. She's an Australian lady, and she posted a picture on, I believe it was on her Facebook, maybe a year or two ago, that went viral. And it was a picture of her. It was a before and after photo, but it was like a reverse before and after photo. Normally, before and after photos have, the frumpy fat girl on the before picture, and then she loses weight and she's on the after picture looking all hot and stuff. And Taryn's photo was, the before picture was her as a bodybuilder, and she was super fit, had the perfect bikini body, was very toned, and she competed in bodybuilding competitions. And that was the before picture. And the after picture was a picture of her with a little bit of a belly and a little bit of cellulite and no makeup and no tan, and just sitting there with all exposed, and looking really happy and really content with herself. And it went viral because that's unheard of, that a woman would show off her body when it's not fit, And it was just a really, really good documentary where she went around to different countries, to different women. She went and talked to Ricky Lake, who is who originated the role of Tracy Turnblad in Hairspray. She talked to a photographer. She talked to models. She talked to a girl with anorexia. She talked to women of all different shapes and sizes about body image issues that they've had. Women with disabilities physical disabilities and physical impairments that have had body image issues. And some of them have overcome them and some of them haven't. And most of them are on a continuous journey to overcome them. And just hearing these testimonials from women from all over the world, and how even though a lot of them didn't look like me, they had different body types, different, just different, they still all had something to say that really resonated with me and really, encouraged me and made me stop and be like, hey, I know how that feels, and, I recommend this to any woman who has Netflix and, maybe even if it's not something that you're conscious of, has body image issues. I think all women do it to an extent. We're all flawed and we all can be our own worst critics. It does have some nudity in it. It's, about women coming to love their body. So there is some nudity in it. So I would be careful not to watch it with in mixed company or anything like that. But, definitely watch it. It's definitely worth it. And it's really helped me. One thing that Taryn said, because she had been a bodybuilder and she'd spent so much time exercising and trying to get toned and get this perfect bikini body, and she found that it didn't make her happy like she thought it would. She was standing on stage in her perfect bikini body surrounded by other women in their perfect bikini body, and none of them were happy, really. Like, all of them could still, even though they looked so perfect, they still could find flaws in themselves, and they still weren't satisfied. And she just thought, this isn't worth it. This isn't worth the sacrifice that I'm making to make myself look good, because I'm not feeling good about it. And she just started adopting the mentality that she wasn't going to quit exercising and trying to stay fit, but she was going to stop doing it to look good. That she was going to start, she still ran and exercised and, did all this physical activity, but she did it, for example, running on the beach. She didn't do it to count calories and lose weight. She did it because she loved the view of the beach, and it's, a majestic view of the sunset or the waves crashing, and I really like that idea, because over the past, year or two maybe, I've really gotten interested in hiking, which I'm scared of heights, so I'm not like gonna be all hardcore about it, like, rock climbing and all that comes along with a lot of like real hikers. Like, that life ain't for Miranda. But just like this idea of just walking through the woods, and it feels like you're on an adventure. You're not counting calories and trying to figure out how many miles you have to walk to burn however many calories or to lose however many inches. You're just admiring nature and being one with nature and enjoying life. And I think that that's important, because when you're on your deathbed one day, you're not going to be thinking about how many calories you burned or how much weight you're losing laying there on your deathbed. You're going to be thinking about the memories that you made throughout your life. And that's memories, that's feelings of contentment and joy and, being in nature like that, you feel closer to God, I think. And, I think that's just really important to adopt that mentality. And the second thing is, I've also been listening to a podcast called Food Psych. It's Christy, I forget her last name. I think she's a registered dietitian, and a friend of mine who is a dietitian recommended it to me. And she has a lot of good stuff to say. She has guests on her show. On every show, I'm not sure how often she posts, a couple of times a week, but she has guests who've done all different kinds of studies and anything dealing with food and the way we eat food and the way we view our bodies. And she's very much into intuitive eating, which is basically paying attention to your body and what your body wants to eat or doesn't want to eat, or how much it wants to eat, and not guilt tripping yourself for having certain foods, but just listening to your body and feeding your body. And it all sounds so common sense, but we don't do it. We don't really stop and think about what we're gonna eat or whether or not we're hungry. It's just like, well, it's that time of day that I normally eat, so I'm gonna eat whether we're hungry or not. Or it's not that time of day that I eat, so I shouldn't eat anything. But if you're hungry, girl, eat, and so it's just a lot of common sense things that we just, have gotten away from. And so both of these, the documentary Embrace and the podcast Food Psych, I've been recommending to any of my friends who just need a little pick-me-up. It's not something that you don't have to be like on a big journey like I am or anything like that. You don't have to like be into a big lifestyle change. It's just uplifting and and encouragement and just knowing that you're not alone and that there are other people who have the same feelings that you do about your bodies or about your health, and not feeling like it's such a hard, unachievable goal to love yourself, because it's not. You can do it. And so I'm really excited about how things are going, and I'm looking forward to the coming weeks and months and seeing where this journey takes me. Thanks.